People with OnlyFans, have you ever been randomly recognized in public? If so, what happened? There's a girl I work with that intentionally gives out her OnlyFans info where she works. She did it at her prior job as well. I think it's either to control the situation or for the added revenue stream. But it spread like wildfire in a place that employs 1,200 people. I'm shocked she still works here. Story 2. As someone that works in marketing and PR, my first thought was that it would be more advantageous for her to get you to spread it. If she does it, it's advertising and it makes it seem less fun and exclusive. If you do it in whispered corners or DMs, it seems scandalous and more fun to be in on a secret. It's the same reason secret menus are fun. If McDonald's starts advertising them at gangbang, it loses some of its luster. If I were her, I'd get 4 to 5 guys that I know who run in different social circles and get them to drop it like some sort of big secret and then give them a cut. Create a private promo code kind of thing where each guy gets a movie title and then they tell their friends, I've heard she really likes Steel Magnolias, and if you message her about it, she'll drop some exclusive content to you. Then she'd know that each person who messages her about Steel Magnolias was a referral by Todd. Story 3. Recently, in my day job, I had a new client who I was having Zoom meetings with, and she was adamant she knew my voice. She keeps bringing it up every week, asking if I had done radio, podcasts, VO work. She keeps joking she will get to the bottom of this mystery somehow. I started making erotic audio for women, and built up a pretty solid following during subsequent lockdowns last year. After she brought this up, I checked my Patreon subs, and she subscribed to me 9 months ago with her work email. I am honestly just waiting for the penny to drop. Story 4. My wife knew a coworker who was fired for filming herself playing with herself on a vacant hospital bed for her OnlyFans account. Someone saw her work badge and reported her. When everyone found out, over half the staff knew who she was and some of them signed up to her OnlyFans. Story 5. Not OnlyFans or me, but I saw an ex on a random porn site once. I asked if she knew or not, since she was an early childhood teacher and it could have cost her her career. And she made out it wasn't her. It had her full face and her tattoos with some of her stuff in the background though, so I think she knew the video I was talking about and got embarrassed or something. We slowly stopped talking after that. I remember going through my history about a few weeks later and the video was taken down. Story 6. Other way around, actually. I recognized a girl at a party/rave that I'd seen in professional but still alt/amateur style adult videos. Just nude photos, not actual sex acts. She could tell I recognized her, I'm sure. I just said, I love your work. We became friends. Story 7. The reverse kinda happened to me. I recognized a woman in the club and asked if I'd seen her somewhere before, and she replied with, do you watch a lot of adult videos? I work for website name. I was a bit taken aback. I didn't have a problem with what she does, but I hadn't seen her work, and we probably just go to the same clubs. Story 8. I've never actually been recognized, but I've had guys I'm talking to on the platforms I work on think that I'm someone they know, and I have to convince them that no, I'm not that girl from Arkansas that you know on Facebook. Story 9. Not exactly, but I did recently have a subscriber asking me to sext, which was then followed by him disclosing that he actually knows me and was a bit embarrassed. I told him he had nothing to worry about and in general I'm a very sex-positive person. He then revealed who he was and was pleasantly surprised it wasn't an ex or something. Just an acquaintance who I had met a couple of times. And overall is a rad guy. I have a couple friends from real life on my page, but same deal. As long as they're respectful, I'm happy to have their support. Story 10. I worked with a nurse who was a high-level administrator and a bit of a hottie. Her husband was an attorney who helped set up adult video sites for one of his clients. We were at a conference once, and after a few drinks, she admitted that her butt was a banner for several of the sites. I'd never been to them before, but when I looked at it, it sure looked like the shape and color one would expect to be hers. Tame photo and just the one. The next time we got drunk, she told me the same story. Was almost the reverse of what OP was probably going for here. Story 11. I just started exotic dancing and my childhood neighbor's former boyfriend was at the stage. The stage is raised and their heads are crotch height if you are sitting on the edge and under it if you are standing. It was my first week, first time stripping. I'm really concerned because they have really crappy toilet paper and it can ball up and break loose when you wipe. You know, get stuck. And that will glow under the black light. Little specks. Ugh. Anyway, the last time I saw him, I was probably 7 or 8. He was like 18, 20, and his GF was 17. All kids. And I kind of had a crush on him, but I had a crush on all older boys at the time. So I come out, and there he is, sitting head height at the stage. I know who he is immediately, even though it's almost 20 years later. So I come out, do my thing, I'm dancing kind of above him, and he is very politely looking at my eyes. No way he would have noticed the glowing toilet paper fuzzy, so I was safe, and we kind of chatted. How have you been? Leg up in the air, it's been a while. Where are you living? Bending over and talking through my legs. Oh, nice. Yeah, I moved back a few years ago. Sitting in front of his face with legs spread. Well, it was nice seeing you again. Politely tips, smiles, and leaves. He gave me $5, so, never saw him again. Story 12. Yes, once I was visiting Dallas, a guy came up to me and said he recognized me by the shirt I was wearing. I had worn the shirt in a public nudity shoot I did. It was creepy because after he said hi, he followed me around the mall. I managed to lose him in a Forever 21. I hope I never have that experience again. Story 13. Not OnlyFans, but I used to be a cam girl on a popular site not to be named. Someone used a recording program and shared videos of me during a set on multiple adult video sites, very much against my permission. Well, it got back to my family and other people in the small town I'm from. It's hard to be seen in public there, and my family disowned me for a number of years due to the shame and embarrassment, all because I was struggling to make ends meet. Story 14. Obligatory not me, but my cousin-in-law works in adult videos. We all went out to dinner, and this kid who couldn't have been more than 20 years old was at the restaurant with his mom. He keeps eyeing my cousin all shy and doesn't really know what to say. Probably didn't want to mention in front of his mom where he recognized her from. Eventually, cousin and the mom were in the bathroom. Mom nicely asked cousin to take a picture with her kid, and she agreed. If mom only knew. Story 15. There's been a few times where I've been hit up by other guys on Grindr being like, "It's you," but it's only been a couple of instances. Mine was a specific fetish account, and 99% of my people were not local and spread out across the world. I think there's maybe like 4 people who are local of my 800 followers, so tiny percentage. There was one time where a guy was really inspecting me at a gas station, like trying to figure out who I was behind my mask. Makes me wonder. I recently quit 3 months ago since quarantine is ending. I got vaccinated and I can go back to work. It was fun at first, but lost its charm quickly and became low-key stressful. I'd feel really bad and guilty because some of these guys would get really obsessed and parasocial, and I didn't want to encourage those kind of unhealthy relationships. Made me feel kinda scummy, to be honest. Found out I do not have the heart to hustle, and that's okay. Story 16. I was once recognized on the subway into work. The guy didn't come up to me, but he sent me a message later saying, "Hey, I saw you on X train." Later, he came up to me in the lobby of my building. Apparently, he works in the same building. To be honest, it freaked me out a lot, but thankfully nothing bad ever came of it. Story 17. Not me, but a coworker. Apparently, while this coworker was in nursing school, she did hardcore adult videos prior. A couple of male paramedics/firefighters recognized her, and it quickly got around the ER that she was a porn star. She had a fake name, and people were sharing it. This nurse was mortified, and I may have been only one of the select few who didn't treat her differently after this. I once told my boyfriend at the time this story, and he says, "Wow, interesting. What was her name?" Good try, buddy. I'm not a sellout. Story 18. Well, this is indirectly related, but I once made a joke at work about being busy over the weekend responding to all of my OnlyFans followers. I included the air quotes. The joke is that I'm a 53-year-old male who has never been called handsome, so obviously I'd be responding to women that I follow. But apparently a few people at work thought it was funny/absurd that I should have an OnlyFans account, as in posting my pics and videos, and have been trying to find it ever since. I responded to the question because they told some clients that I had an OnlyFans account, and the clients complained to my boss, who brought me into his office to reprimand me. When I explained that I don't have an account, didn't tell anyone that I did, and only a few people believed that I do, I was happily told to wait while he brought in the ones who did tell the clients. Let me tell you, that was a pretty awesome moment. They actually tried to convince our boss that I was lying and to check my phone. Story 19. I'll add my story, but it wasn't OnlyFans. I did post on Reddit for 1 year, and I also made some friends via Kik. Guess I gave out my town one day because I started getting really scary messages. He said I looked really good that day at the grocery store. Then he mentioned that I must love books since I visit the bookstore once a week. So that was the end of that. Blocked, scared out of my mind. I had my child with me every single time. So getting noticed for nudes is a bit awkward, but being stalked was way worse. P.S. I stopped going out for a few weeks, and then I only went out with a group. Story 20. Watched a relationship implode when some guy walked up to a couple on a park bench and told the woman that she looked even better in real life than her pictures on OnlyFans. Boyfriend looked positively stunned and stands up, leaves her there, and she started crying. Not the, "Oh, I stubbed my toe real bad and I need to let some pain out" type crying, but the, "I lied to someone and it came back and bit me" type crying. Straight up bawling. It was really awkward because she didn't leave for half an hour, and I can't leave because I'm taking care of my nephew, and I'm not about to cut his fun time because I feel awkward. Just a bad time for her. Story 21. I was at the store picking up one of those things that cleans off car battery terminals. I was with my husband and kid. A guy who subs walked into the same area as we were. Didn't say anything to me. He messaged me about an hour later asking if it was me. I said, yeah, and that I appreciated him not saying anything at the store. I wish it was more exciting, to be honest. Story 22. I have 2 instances. One time, a dude recognized me at a gas station and said out loud, "You're my favorite adult video star." Mind you, I was only modeling nude at the time, so it really threw me off, but I'm glad the place was empty. The other instance, a coworker found my Instagram and brought it up in the break room. He tried to act like he was cool about it, but I was not comfortable. He wasn't obnoxiously loud, but it wasn't hushed at all in a full break room. He was also a problematic employee, so he got fired soon after for making a racist statement to the manager. He may be an unnamed fan on my page, who knows? Story 23. So this is fun. I'm a model/customer support rep for Just for Fans. On top of adult videos, I also post a lot of naked baking videos because I need something to give my downstairs a break sometimes. My husband was out walking about today and ran into a couple of friends he hadn't seen in a while. They asked him, "Is your husband the guy who makes the cakes naked?" Truly, I'm a legend, icon, and star. Story 24. Not because of OnlyFans, even if I am on the platform for 2 years now, but for my verified Pornhub channel. I was buying some street food, and at the time a video went viral where I had pink hair and I was coming back from my art studio. A guy approached me very friendly and say how much he loves my work and to keep posting the videos. Very wholesome, respectful, and he just kept walking after it. Later that day he commented on the video saying thanks for being nice. Never had any bad encounters with fans, even at conventions. I think Twitch girls get it way worse. Story 25. I don't do OnlyFans, but I do make/sell my own content. I deleted my personal social media accounts when I started modeling. Anyway, I haven't had anyone recognize me IRL, but I have had 3 people I've met IRL message and ask if I'm me. One was a guy from school and he offered to pay for a meetup. Told him I'm online only. It was very uncomfortable and I blocked him afterwards. Now, I just block and don't bother replying when they ask if it's me. I have told everyone super close to me what I do online. My mom and sisters are super supportive. I think it makes my brother uncomfortable. My boyfriend loves the money, so he's happy for me. Most of my friends ask for help getting started doing what I do. Lastly, if I were to run into a playmate of mine IRL, I would probably act like I had no idea who they were. No hate, I just try to keep my business and personal life separate. Story 26. I've had a handful of different friends find my content and then awkwardly ask me about it. It doesn't bother me usually, so I'll talk about it. But one time, this girl I hardly knew was trying to guilt me into admitting it. I don't know why I was so adamant about denying it was me, but I ended up blocking her. I've also had multiple people on dating apps recognize me and even send screenshots of my videos. I usually block them because I don't want to deal with the possibility of them trying to blackmail me. Story 27. I found an ex on OnlyFans because I looked up her social one day and an alternate Twitter page came up that she uses to promote it. I mean, her handle is pretty much her name and similar to the name she uses on her regular social, so I guess she doesn't exactly hide it. But largely, it seems she was unsuccessful since she hasn't logged in since January. It's an oversaturated market now, and it's not the easy money some make it out to be. Really have to be active, promote, and make new content every day. It would be a full-time job to get successful at it. I'm sure you have a leg up if you already have a super large social following and are not afraid to reveal yourself to everyone you know. Average person with normal following is gonna have a tough time. But if there's even one person you wouldn't want finding out, I personally wouldn't do it. Props to porn stars, really. That's a level of fearless I will never know. But it is strange to think that I could continue to get nudes of an ex. I didn't subscribe. Honestly, I think she's charging too much. Story 28. I came across a coworker's attempt to get in Maxim. A mutual friend posted on Facebook, "Vote for Anne for Maxim's Girl Next Door," or something along those lines, so I had to look at the link. She's actually kind of a garbage person. Slept with her cokehead boss, got promoted, and then married him and had 2 kids. Then she would hit on me in our office. Their life seems pretty unhappy, and it shows. So it was pretty weird to see my coworker trying to frolic around in just a thong and fedora at the Luxor. Story 28. Not super related, but I once stumbled across an old high school teacher of mine doing adult video reaction videos. It was only her voice, so it took a lot of listening to decide if it was her. Turns out, she used to do a lot of erotic audio pieces and GF experience type things. Though, looking at her Twitter and listening to her unique voice, I am 99.91% sure it's her. Story 30. I've had a customer come into my restaurant and act awkward as all hell, and about an hour later I receive a message here on Reddit from someone asking if I was ever recognized, would I want to know. I said I wouldn't mind and would hope they'd just keep my secret, which is when he admitted he was the awkward customer earlier in the day. He comes in every now and then. We never speak of anything other than what he wants to order. Story 31. I've got the reverse. I was browsing a campsite and found my ex-wife on there. We'd been divorced and haven't spoken for a few years, ended on bad terms, so it was pretty weird to see. Unfortunately, she looked like she's doing heroin again, because she was constantly nodding out. Story 32. Back in my grad school, we had an older guy, for college kids he was early 40s, on a project team I ran. We'll call him B. One of the younger sub-team leads kept telling me that B looked familiar. Eventually, we discovered that B is a well-known male adult video star who got out of the game and went back to school. He has some wild stories to tell us. For those who want to know, his adult video name is Barry Scott. He was actually one of the nicest and coolest people I've ever met. Story 33. Pre-OnlyFans, but I used to work in a call center managing call flows. Had one girl try to sell her adult videos to like everyone. Few lads chipped in a few quid, bought the lot, and shared them with everyone. Not because they wanted to watch it, but they wanted her to stop asking. She eventually got fired for quite a few reasons. Story 34. Not OnlyFans, but used to post on NSFW subs regularly. Have since deleted and remade accounts. Had roommates, male and female, who were a couple at the time. The GF approached me and admitted to snooping through his PC, and she found my posts upvoted and bookmarked. It made her pretty uncomfortable, but I don't remember if she ever confronted him about it. They moved out before the lease ended and have broken up. I'm still in touch with both of them occasionally. Story 35. I might be a bit late for this, but I've actually been desperate to share with anybody. I was looking through the hub and was completely thrown off guard when I saw my ex of 2 years. It was a long time ago we dated, but we'd always kept in touch. She married, had kids, and a super rad family. I was seriously shocked. Then one day, on Reddit, I see her again. Clicked on her profile, and she's been doing adult videos on basically all the popular amateur sites and forums. Mind blown, really. I'd always wondered what it would be like to see someone you know, but I didn't expect it to be someone I, knew. Story 36. Not exactly the answer, but I know a ton of adult content people. One of my friends from teenage years is one of the bigger female adult content creators, and my best friend for many years is a male POV star who never shows his face, but always talks in a ton of videos. The amount of emails and texts I've gotten from people recognizing his voice is hilarious. The thing I want to say is that I'm so desensitized to adult videos. We were roommates forever, and for the longest time, one of the main hub ads was a girl standing in front of a distinctive, one-of-a-kind artwork that belonged to me. I would walk through sets constantly, so to me it wasn't weird at all. And I also didn't give a hoot, except once in a blue moon when an adult video person would be a psycho, but most were normal. But sometimes I would mention this to seemingly cool, left-leaning, sex-positive people, and the level of disgust they would have for adult video creators would make me sick. And suddenly, I was some dirty bastard for knowing these people. That's crazy when you know that these people watch these videos. It just struck me as really horrible and backward. Story 37. Long ago, before OnlyFans and stuff, some girls would do these cheesy nude photo shoots, mainly students with no money. One night, I was scrolling some of those search engine-like websites that had a million of these shoots. Scrolling by all of them and only picking the ones with my country in the title. Found this feisty redhead in this standard shoot, dressed to undressed to sexy poses, and moved on. Months later, I'm at a party and a friend brings in his new girlfriend. You guessed it was her. Casually having small talk with her, and she was really kind. About 15 minutes in, I get with the mighty hammer of realization. As she sees my face go, wait, what? She realizes what I'm thinking. Told her, all good, and we just kept making small talk for a bit, ignoring what I just realized. Still sometimes see her on my friend's Facebook. Distant friend now, haven't seen her in real life since.